Hi, welcome back to Chop's Garage. I've done it again. I've bought a completely inappropriate vehicle for the business. Total random purchase, and no doubt it's going to cost me a load of money. So what we have here is a 2003 Mercedes CL500. This was offered to me by a friend that works at a garage, and he knew of a chap that was getting rid of this. I think he might have been giving up driving. Apparently it's his pride and joy. He sent me a message and said, would you be interested? And of course I should have said no, it's too old, it's too thirsty, it doesn't suit my small car specialist title on my website at all. But you guys who watch Chop's Garage regularly will know by now that I just can't help myself with these modern classics. And I absolutely think that this does qualify as a modern classic now at this age. I mean, 2013, it's 2003, sorry, it's 21 years old now. And it comes from a time when they really did do everything on an analog way. This has all the switches of the Starship Enterprise. Engine is wonderfully simple, really. Just a great big lumpy V8. It is kind of hysterical. A car this big only has two doors in it. It's a huge, great machine. It's a bit like an American muscle car, but from Germany. It was presumably designed for people who want to go racing across the continents in huge comfort. I can't really see in any set of circumstances where it really becomes a practical choice, but that's kind of the brilliant thing about it. So you've got a 5-litre V8 up front. I think it puts out 300 horsepower, which isn't an awful lot for a 5-litre V8 in this day and age. 0 to 60, I think 6.1 seconds. I imagine it's limited to 155 mile an hour, but I'm not sure. This thing would have been just under 70 grand brand new. 70 grand. I don't know what would be adjusted for inflation now, but a huge figure. And obviously it's got every extra you could possibly have from 2003. It's in really nice condition. That's one of the things that sold me on it. I was looking for bubbling arches because I kind of agreed to buy it blind. He's just dropped it off, and it was, yeah, I was looking for bubbling arches, bubbling down the bottom of the sills here, that kind of thing. But he told me it was in fantastic condition, and it really is. I mean, there's a few marks here and there, but overall it's in really nice nick for the age. Paintwork wise, there really isn't anything you would do, to be honest. It's all really good. Like I say, all the arches are nice. That's where I was expecting to see the dirt had got under and started to bubble up, or along the seams of the body trim here, but that's all excellent as well. Wheels are in nice condition, obviously from the time when they weren't absolute rubber bands on the alloys. So the tyres are actually managed to serve to protect the wheels a bit. They're in really nice condition. Even the centre caps don't have lacquer peel. It's got this huge rear glass, which has got some kind of bronzing or something on it to stop the sun beating down too hard on you if you're in the back, I guess. Yeah, there's a couple of, like a little bit of scuffing just here on the corner of the bumper, but nothing really I don't think you'd do unless you had an absolute desire to have an incredibly mint one. But yeah, really that's kind of it on the bodywork wise. I think I spotted a couple of tiny little bubbles elsewhere. Nothing along the front of the screen. I think actually no, there might have been a tiny bit up here. Just starting. But yeah, overall really nice nick. Inside is fantastic. It really is. There's these two huge armchairs up front that have buttons absolutely everywhere for them. So look here, you got your, is that going to be real wood or is it going to be plastic? Someone might be able to tell me in the comments. So you've got air conditioning for your seat as well as heat. You've got your 3 memory settings. Then you've got all the adjustments for even the electronic headrest, and there off she goes. To be honest, most of this seems to work as well. I haven't checked every single button, but it does seem to work. All the leather's in good condition. No rips or tears. Down here you've got, presumably that's, what's that pulse? Is that like massage down there as well? Again, someone might know these models, but that looks like you've got massage settings down here for the chair as well as all those adjustments. Crazy. And if I go to get into the back, it will automatically do it for me. Again, we've got the Mercedes carpets and all the conditioning here. Really nice. All the leather's excellent. All the carpets are good. Yeah, I can't get over the condition of the interior. We've got a sunroof on this one. Don't know how rare that is on these. Probably not. Automatic, of course, like all Mercs are. You've got a sport and a comfort setting for the gearbox. We've got our dual zone climate control there. CD radio with TV. I'm not sure the TV's working. You've got sat nav as well. Just absolutely fully loaded, but obviously from a time when you didn't have touchscreens, so everything was on the buttons. Smells lovely too. And we've got the Bose sound system as well. I'd be interested to know how much this was standard and how much you had to option at like 70 grand. What's all this? Yeah, hopefully someone watches this that knows about these models and they'll be able to tell me how much of what I'm looking at is standard and how much you need to do spec on top of your huge amount of cash. So yeah, really nice condition inside and out. I'm sure you're waiting to hear what I spent on this. I think it was 2.2 I agreed with Dale, I think, if I remember correctly, because it needs an MOT. It's been sitting about, so we need to get that done on it. Who knows what that might need doing if it's been sitting around for a while as well. Potential sale value on this isn't a huge amount. I think probably in this condition with that mileage, looking around, it's maybe sort of 6 grand, I'd say, something like that. So it sounds like we've got a huge margin. As you know, that can be whittled away very, very fast when it comes to getting something like this through the MOTs. Anyway, first of all, we're going to go for a spin. But before we do that, we do need to check out a little leak with PT. I've got PT in today that's underneath the car, which when it got dropped off, he said that it had an ABC warning light on the dashboard. That's the hydraulic system that does the suspension, and he topped that up because he found the bottle was a bit low. He says he thinks he just spilled it everywhere, that's why it's leaking onto the floor, but we need to be sure of that before we start heading down the road and spilling any more of it anywhere else. It might just be a pipe split or something like that, or it could just be, like he said, he's just overfilled it and it's dripping down the front of the engine, but we've got to double check that before we go any further. First bit of bad news on the CL. Pete thinks that it's the actual pump itself that's leaking rather than a pipe underneath it. So it's he thinks there's signs of stuff just down there. Let's have a little look underneath. Let's have a crawl underneath and see what we can see. Oh. Right, so we topped it all up. We can see it dripping.
Yeah,
can you see it? Yeah, that pump at the top there. We can see it dripping out the back of that pump. You can't really see. I can't really get the camera in a position for you guys to be able to see it, though. You might be able to now, actually. Yes, there you go. There you go. Dripping out the back of the pump there. So that pump's failed. Something on that pump's failed. It looks like it's behind where the actual pulley wheel is.
Yeah, it's a bearing or seals in behind the pump.
Yeah, there's a sealing behind the pump's gone or something like that, isn't it? That's what it is. Rightio. So, simple pipe fix is not on the cards. So, looking online, the tandem, it's called the tandem power steering pump, is about 380 to 600 pound, deciding whether you buy refurb or a new one. Fitting wise doesn't look horrendous, but being the first time we've done it, I imagine it will take longer than it should. You don't have to take anything else other than that off, really, other than this pipe here, and possibly move these out of the way. I'd estimate 4 hours or so. Probably if you knew what you're doing, a couple of hours, but let's say 4 hours on the outside. So all in all, probably looking at in the region of, I mean, I think I would go for a reef manufactured one, keep the cost down. We're probably looking to spend another £600, probably getting the work done on it. And then obviously there's anything else that comes to light in between. Do we think I was done over, people, or not? When the car was dropped off to me, so I know Pete's opinion on it. When the car was dropped off to me, the system light was on the dashboard, and the chap said he'd had to fill it up, and he'd spilt loads of it all over the place, and it was quite possibly that was dripping out the bottom of the car. But obviously, since we've now cleaned it all off and we've run it up, we can see it clearly dripping from that pump there. So yeah, comment down below on your thoughts on that. I'm not sure either way, to be honest, but it is what it is. I bought it trade, so it needs to be it just needs to be sorted now. Hopefully, touch wood, if that's all that needs doing, I'm okay, because the bodywork's in a lot better condition than I thought it would be, and all the electrics seem to work, and I wouldn't go around trying to make every electric work even if it didn't. So, and it seems to drive okay. Other than that, the engine sounds sweet. So hopefully that's the reason for it being binned off, and if that is the reason for it binned off and we can fix it for that kind of money, we're still okay on it. But keep tuned and we'll find out. So now I finally got the new ABC pump for the Mercedes CL500. I've got to get it down to the garage to get it fitted, but predicted the battery's flat as a pancake on it. It's got no charging whatsoever, so it's time to break out a top don. We've got a 3000 for this job, a brand new top don 3000 just arrived. So let's give this a go. This is the big daddy of top don jump packs. This battery is absolutely flat as a pancake. The lights aren't even coming on in the boot here. I've had to use the key, the manual key, to open it up. There's a big difference between a jump pack starting a car that has a little bit of charge in it and a jump pack starting a car with absolutely no charge in it. So let's see how this gets on. Let's get it together. Try a two-handed job a second. I can't remember how much these come with pre-charged. Let's turn the power on and see what it says. It's only got 25% power in it, so that might not be enough, but it is still boost feeding it. If it starts on 25% power, then that is going to be pretty damn amazing, to be fair. Let's get it on boost. I don't know if it's going to do it with only 25% in it. I'm saying it is. Blimmin' heck. Now that is very impressive. That battery is only on, that battery is completely flat and that is only on 25% charge, and it's just started a 5 litre V8 from absolutely dead. I've had a lot of jump packs in my time and a lot of them perform well as long as there's a little bit of charge left in it, but this 3000 is the only one I've seen do that. I'd have forgiven it not doing it on 25%, but blooming heck, that is impressive. So there you have it. Once again, this is the reason that I don't mind marketing this stuff, because it is absolutely brilliant. It saves my life all the time. Right, let's get this down and let's get the ABC fitted to it. And then I think after an appropriate amount of time smoking the tyres off it, this will probably be the next raffle car. Still can't get over the condition of this car. Cannot get over the condition. It is so mint. Well, I've got the CL back. The Moores guys have done the new MOT, so they fitted that new ABC pump, which apparently was a bit of a pain. It started leaking again. They found one of the little seals wasn't seated quite right, so they had to put it on again. So they got the ABC pump working on it so that could do all the suspension again. Then they put it in for MOT. Now for MOT, I believe I needed some tyres. I think I've got a couple of Nankangs on the back there. I think they were. I'm not sure what else they've done. Chris hadn't got the build together yet, so I absolutely currently have no idea what I spent on this car. They did an oil and filter service for me as well, so oil and filter service, MOT, which I no included brakes. I got fin, it needed some brake pipes as well. Yeah, so as we don't know what the bill is yet, the only right thing to do is go out and have a drive on it and see how well it goes. At least then if it's really good to drive when the bill comes in, I won't feel quite so bad about it. Of a Mercedes CL500. A Devon country lane. I don't particularly want to go fast in it anyway, to be honest. I'm looking to see if the gear changes are smooth, the brakes are okay, if there's any knocks and bangs on the suspension. Obviously the boys have been over it and done their thing, but they won't be taking it for as far a drive as I am. Firstly, the seats, as expected, feel like big old armchairs. Super comfortable, endless adjustment. The gear changes, they seem very smooth. You don't really notice them. Power wise, difficult to say at the moment. We'll get an opportunity maybe to give it a bit more beans in a bit. Got a few bends coming up here to give it a bit more beans round. Gosh, no, I thought it'd be a lot wallower than that. A lot wallowier than that. I mean, obviously I've got it in the ABC Sport suspension setting. Gosh, you're just on an endless waft of torque. There's just always pulling power there. it does corner really quite flatly considering how big it is. Comes over that cresty bit there quite nicely, tight round this corner. No washing out. It's not washing out on the front end, the back end feels firm. It's a lot tighter than I thought it would be, to be fair. So once again, thanks to the Moors boys, we have saved another modern classic. It drives really nicely. I've got no real concerns about that at all. Had a nice long sort of hours driving it. And like I say, it feels a bit like, I'd say it feels like a grown-up Firebird. It hasn't got huge power. It's got loads of low down torque, but obviously it's a hell of a lot more comfortable than the Firebird. And it actually handles quite well. When you've got that setting on there for the sports, for the gearbox and for the suspension, it really does, like I say, handles really quite well. And I keep saying it, but for the age, I mean, it's not immaculate, it's not a show car, there's a couple of little bits you could do on it, but overall it really is a good looking car in really good condition. So what are we going to do with it? Well, I think we all know by now it's probably not a good retail car for me. Now, I did have a friend approach me the other day and spoke to me about a football team in Barnstable called Ability FC, and it's a non-profit football team for children over 6 years old and adults that have learning disabilities or additional needs. Like I say, it's completely self-funded. They play in this football club, and he said, look, they really could do with some help with funding. I know you do the raffles, so yeah, could you help out? And I thought, well, what a fantastic, I won't call it charity because it's not technically a charity, it's a non-profit organisation to help. He said it would make the world of difference to them because they don't get any funding at all. Like I say, completely self-funded. Anything they'll contribute to help them get boots and kit and all that kind of thing. I'll put a link in the video description down below. I'll try and show on screen some of what they do now. So we're going to raffle the Mercedes off. Like I say, it's got its brand new MOT. It's freshly serviced as well. I am going to fund the first month's road licence with this as well for the winner, because I know a lot of people talking about, I think it's only £400 or £315 on it because of the age of it. So it's not actually horrendous, but we'll throw in a year's road tax as part of the winning prize as well. Probably not the car you'd ever think about spoiling yourself with, but if you had it for free off of a raffle ticket, hey, go along to some shows with it. You wouldn't be thrown out of any car meets in this. I'm sure you'd go along to a few classic car shows with it as well. And in this condition, I'm sure it would get an awful lot of attention. So I said, links to all that in the video description down below. Massive thanks for watching as always. I'll see you on the next video when hopefully I'm making slightly better buying decisions. Cheers.